I want to start off by saying a huge thank you to Ashano and a whole team for organising such a great programme for our students. In 2019, I brought 19 students from the University of York in England over to India to study a 2-week programme, Modern versus Historic India. We spent a week in Bangalore and a week in Delhi with an overnight stay in Agra to go and visit the Taj Mahal. During the programme we had lectures at a couple of institutions and they were just so welcoming, and I know the students loved it. The topics included business versus politics, the life and teachings of Gandhi, and the role of women in Indian society. As part of the programme, we also visited a couple of NGOs and social enterprises, and I know this added such a unique element to the programme. The students really got to go and visit and see people and talk about problems that they wouldn't have seen if they'd just been to India themselves. Overall, it was such a fantastic programme and the students got so much out of it. The feedback has been fantastic, and I know that we wouldn't have been able to do it without the Go India team, whose support both during and before the programme was great. So again, I want to say thank you so much, and I would recommend using them to anyone. Thank you.
So the experience with Go India Initiative was absolutely amazing, insightful. We've had a mix of both the rural and urban side to India, and it's been amazing to experience it.
I also have the same feelings towards the whole trip. I feel as though my confidence has drastically increased ever since I've been here, because we've come with students we don't really know that well, and I feel as though we've all bonded on the same group, that we're all here to explore India, a place that we've never been before, and it was really fun to be a part of. I'd say my favourite part of the trip was definitely the NGO Literacy India. I really enjoyed engaging with students coming from a lower income background. I think in this economy it's so prevalent that there are so many students who don't have education, and it was really nice to see students from a low income background really appreciate education and made me feel more insightful towards my own education as well.
I agree with Mila, the NGO Literacy one was my favourite, but as well was the trip to the village, and we did pottery classes there and we played games, and it was just really cool because we got to see what it was like to just be away from technology and just city life and really get grips to games and simple ways to have fun.
I definitely recommend this whole initiative to any friends, any family, because honestly the experience has been unexplainable. I can't even describe the way how I've been feeling. I know this is going to be one of my most memorable trips here, and I'd really advise anyone to take this initiative.
Yeah, I would also recommend it to everyone as well. Again, it's really hard to explain it because it was such a genuine trip, and you'll only be able to understand what we're trying to say once you experience it yourself.
Also, the Go India team were very comforting. They made us feel very safe at all times. There was not at a point where we felt at any risk, and in general they were really friendly and really made our trip worthwhile. Yeah.
Go India!
They were really good. They're really insightful. I'd already done Indian history before, so it was nice to catch up and be reminded of some of the stuff I'd already studied. I thought particularly Miranda House was a really interesting institution. It's obviously all-female enrollment, and the talk on the role of Indian women in society I thought was particularly insightful. And it was really nice to have something female-led, which isn't often the case, even if there are women present. So I thought that was really interesting. And at the St. Joseph's Commerce School, I really enjoyed interacting with the students. It was just really nice to chat with other Indian kids and get to know a little bit more about what it's like to actually be an Indian child, or I guess a teen in India, in Bangalore.
I've had a genuinely enriching academic and cultural experience. I think I originally wanted to come out to India because it's a culture that's very different from the UK, but also as a student I was very interested to get a foot on the ground view of the kind of socioeconomic change and stuff like that, and the lecture program and all the different workplace experiences that we had, and startups and NGOs and stuff like that. Really genuinely gave some great insight into all of that. It's I think it very much met and exceeded my expectations in terms of what it brought to me as a student and what it brought to me personally. If you've never been on a scheme like this before, you can underestimate just how enlightening being on the ground and being in a place like this can be.
So in the English sessions, we saw the British High Commission, which was amazing. We got to see how diplomats work in this country. We got to see their daily roles, how it impacts various things. I really liked it, and it was good to see how I can maybe get into that industry in the future. Other than that, we went to Amazon, which was really good and enlightening. We also went to the different startups, such as King's Learning, where they made an app for English learning across Indian languages, and I found that very interesting because I like how it works with all cultures and languages in India, and I really appreciated that. And last but not least, we went to Health Set Go, where it was about teaching kids how to make sure that their food is safe by various scientific methods. We had to do a speech about it, followed by a presentation, and I really enjoyed it. And I felt it was fantastic that I was making a difference to these kids in India whilst being here.
So cultural-wise, we served food at Bangalore, which was definitely my highlight, where we served food to, I think it's between 100,000 and 200,000 people a day, and no matter your status, you all sit down on the floor and eat together. Along with that day, we went to 3 different temples and saw the complete diversity within India amongst religion. Otherwise, culturally, today we did culinary class and sari draping, which was really nice to be in people's homes and feel way more welcome.
So throughout going India, I found a different appreciation of India. One thing I've discovered is that I really appreciate how a large country can tie together so many cultures from different societies. I appreciate how there are small nuances between these cultures and how I finally see how they're different, and how I can see how these different religions as well can melt into one. I think overall it gives perspective on how Indians see the world, where I didn't have that in the past, and what I'll take with me in the future is their perspective and be able to appreciate anyone I meet who has knowledge about Indian culture and share with them things I've learned, such as meditation or things to do with religion, Islam, Hinduism or Sikhism.
I think to add to that for me, it's showing me that you can be completely diverse and still get on. Within one country, we've only been to 2 places, yet we've seen more than I've ever seen at home in England.
Thank you, Go India!